Once upon a time, on the outskirts of the internet, two experts and a couch decided to find out what it takes to succeed. All they have, a lot of free time and absolutely no clue where to start. Starring Mike as Mr. Right, Ron as Mr. Wrong, Couch as the Couch.
Hey everyone,
Hey,
and we are back. Yes, we were missing for a couple of weeks, and reason for that were actually that four episode that we recorded prior to this. We were in same country, but now I'm back in United States, so we're now recording from two different countries, and we are officially international podcast. As
so
you
what's
may
up, everyone?
notice, yeah, as you may notice, our sound quality got a little better because now we are recording on professional mics
Yeah, and
for
you can feel
podcast.
that
Yes.
professional equipment, and we are sounding really different. Our voices got much deeper, and you will enjoy this experience of good sound and high quality content. Just joking, by the way. We're back here. We've been missing due to our traveling of one person. Now we're international vibes, baby, and we are starting. This is a couch podcast and podcast about how to improve yourself, how to get successful in your life, how to change your life, and all these kind of things. So our last four episodes, what were they? You would be wondering, by the way, but we were talking about how to change your life, the psychology of goal settings, how to stay motivated, and how to develop new good habits. So today, what we will be talking about today?
And today we're gonna talk about importance of saying no, which is very important. Um, we we trying to preach to you something that we gonna use in our life and set the example that changes are possible if you work hard on yourself. Uh, Work hard on yourself. Work harder on yourself than you work on your job. That's the
Yeah,
key.
and success will follow you. So basically, we're trying to use these life hacks that been
Yeah.
found by other people and prove them wrong or prove if they work,
Prove them
and we
right.
will
Yeah.
yeah and prove them right. But it's all right. I would say no, but I will say no after this podcast because we will be talking about how to say no. Right now, I don't know how to say no in a proper way. So let's start. What
Yeah.
is all about this no? It's just two letters, but it has a
Yeah.
crazy power in it.
Okay. First of all, let's talk about why we say yes. Like, we agree to many things, not because we wanted to do them, but just because we don't want to be seen rude, arrogant, unhelpful, and we don't want to hurt people. So often you have to consider saying no to someone you will interact with again in the future, like your coworker, your spouse, your family and friends, right?
You have no
And
other choice.
yeah, because you can't say yes always, because then you'll be in the same spot as you are right now. Um, Saying no to these people, they like close people. Okay, coworker not that close, but your spouse, your family, your friends are close, and it could be particularly difficult because we like them. Well, I hope we like them, and
That's the way the things work.
yeah, and we want to support them. Like, obviously, I mean, most of the people want to support the family. Um, not mention that often we need their help too. So we ask them for help as well. So, uh, for this reason, it can be helpful to be gracious in your response. Do whatever favors you can, and be warm-hearted and direct when you have to say no. Like, try to do as gentle as possible. Like, don't say just no right in the face. Like, but try to do it gentle. Maybe give some explanation why no.
Give them a present, like put some candles
Yeah.
on. Take flowers
Yeah.
with you and say no. By the way, it will hurt them much more. So try to be gentle. Try to
Yeah.
explain like why you cannot do this for them.
Yes. Because it's still like many of us seem to do like poor job of managing the trade-off between yes and no. That's why we find ourselves overcommitted. That's why it's important to say no. Uh, and when you say no to your family, as we mentioned right here, right, like 10 seconds ago, try to be gentle when you say no to your family and close ones, because in the future uh, we will need their help as well. So try to be gentle when you say no to close people and to anyone, uh, and that
Just
matter.
try to be polite
Yeah,
with people. Be kind.
be
It's
kind.
very
Yeah,
important nowadays. And so the most important issue is how we think about the meaning of yes and no, right?
yeah. Like, what's the difference between yes and no? Like,
The words yes and no get used in comparison to each other so often that it feels like they carry equal weight in conversation. In reality, they are not just opposite in meaning, but of entirely different magnitudes in commitment. Like when you say no, you're saying no only to one option, but when you say yes, you're saying no to every other option. Like you should choose,
mm,
like you should use it with wisdom. You should
yeah,
uh, think
yeah,
about
because
what you will lose if you say yes, and what you will lose if you say no, and after that you will decide.
yeah, like James Clear mentioned that uh, like British economist Tim Harford put it, uh, like as a quote, they said it this way: every time we say yes to requests, we are also saying no to anything else we might accomplish with that time. Can you imagine? You say yes to someone and you get committed, and you basically commit that portion of your time in the future to that person. And basically, you're saying no to to whatever you could accomplish in that time for yourself. So that's why you should be very careful when you say yes and get committed to something, and really think about saying no, I guess.
So, in other words, saying no saves you time in future, right? So, but
Yeah.
saying yes costs you time in the future also. Like no is a form of time credit. You retain the ability to spend your future time however you want. But yes is a form of time debt. If you have to pay back your commitment at some point. Like you said, yes, you have a bunch of things to do for today, but suddenly there's someone pops out in front of you and asking for a favor to do something for them, and if you say yes, that's it, you will lose your day, like for example day. But if you will like agree with something more bigger than that, you will lose more time, you will lose weeks, you will lose months, I don't know, it depends. So you should really appreciate your time, and you should think about like not being selfish, but being being like neutral. Like you should think about things that are really important for yourself at this point. Because if you say yes to everyone, I remember my own like younger age when I couldn't say no to anyone. I ended up being just a cool guy for everyone, but not for myself. Like, all
Yeah.
right, some people they
Sometimes,
say, okay,
sometimes you have to be a little selfish.
yeah. It's not the form of being rude. Even you're just doing things better for yourself, and it's absolutely good thing. It's not a bad thing. Like to appreciate your own time and not spend it for things that at the end of the day, no one will thank you for that. Like, okay, at some point they will think about you like, oh, that's a good guy. He did this for me, but they will forget it. But if you do something for yourself, like self improvement, something that will change your future, little steps, you will be thankful. You will be like, uh,
Yeah.
you will be cool with yourself, and that's what's really important.
So basically, when you say no is a decision, and when you say yes, yes is a responsibility. So by saying yes, you'll commit yourself and your time in the future, and you lose that time. You never bring back that time. But sometimes there's also another type of people who say yes just because they can't say no, but it doesn't mean they'll commit their time in the future to you.
Yeah, that's the third type that you want to avoid that kind of people. It's like you'll lose your time. Also, it's kind of win and win situation for that kind of person because they say yes to everyone and they know that they will not do it at any rate. So uh, they will do like important things for themselves, and these people they will never ask for anything again. So it's kind of win-win situation, but anyway, you should be honest with people. You should be kind to other people. So if you can do something, just help. If you feel that it's not a good choice for yourself, that you will lose your time, blah blah blah, you can do a lot of other things during this time. Just say no in a polite way, like don't say no, I don't like you at all, but stop asking me for stuff. Like I just don't like you. That's why I'm saying no. No, that's not the good way. Just say no because I have something to do for myself. And actually, the role of no is very important, right?
Yeah. So, what is the role of no? Saying no is sometimes seen as a luxury that only those in power can afford. Um, so it is true. Like turning down opportunities is easier when you can fall back on safety net provided like by power, by money, uh, I don't know, by family. Like if you have a really uh, big uncle.
Financial stability. If you have
Yeah,
financial stability, saying no even to your boss, it's okay. Yeah, it's
what
maybe
worse can happen? You get fired, right?
yeah, you will
And
get
you
fired, but you
go,
have money already.
yeah, you go back to your dad, and it'll save your ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also true that saying no is not merely a privilege reserved for a successful among us. It's also a strategy that can help you become successful. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's like it doesn't mean only the one that already successful, like financially or any other way, can say no. You also can become successful by saying no to something that actually don't do any good, neither to you nor to the people who asking for it. Uh, like saying no is an important skill to develop at any stage of your career because it retains the most important asset in your life. It's your time. You can find money, uh, you can find opportunities. Uh, Even if you lose money, then you can earn more money. If you lose one opportunity, there'll be another one. But your time, once you lost it, you'll never get it back. Never. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you have $1 billion, you won't be able to buy your youth. You won't be able to say, okay, I'll give you $100 billion. I want to be 18 again. That's never going to happen. That's it. If you're like 60, you're 60 with 100 billion, but you're 60. It's never going to go back. So clearly, more people have to understand, as well as us, us too, that the time that we're spending, it's more precious than anything in this world. Nothing can buy the time. Nothing. So
That's really
we,
important. As
yeah,
long as you are not that type of person that, oh, I identify as 15 years old and you're 50 already, so you
yeah,
cannot buy time.
yeah, you you have to be very careful with your time and how you spend it. Like most of the uh, people, most of teenagers uh, in early 20s, like you don't understand the meaning of the time. But when you get older and older, you start understanding that the time is very precious.
Yeah,
And
priceless
yeah,
time.
it's a
And
priceless. Uh, if you don't guard your time, people will steal it from you. Like, let's say if you have $100,000 and someone will come to you and steal your $10,000, you'll be so upset. You'll be like going crazy about it. But when someone come and steal 1 hour of your time from your life, you'll be like, okay,
he's
one
just
hour.
sharing his life. He's
Yeah,
just
like,
sharing his opinion with me. It's
yeah,
good.
1 hour. That's 1 hour you lost.
Yeah,
You
we're
should like,
buddies.
yeah, you should guard it more than $10,000. Yeah,
So you should know the price of your time. If someone
yeah,
just tries to steal your time, avoid it. Avoid that kind of person, because the real person that appreciates you, they will help you to develop, like to improve, and not spending your time on like just useless things.
yeah. You basically need to say no to whatever isn't leading you toward your goals. Like you need to say no to distractions. Like we live in a world where we can get distracted very easily just by going to your social media. You can
Yeah.
spend hours in there, like watching the
Mm.
videos, going scrolling through videos, pictures, someone like someone in a club, hang out in a club, someone traveling somewhere, and you just scrolling through
Yeah,
that information.
basically, we're helping them to improve themselves, right? Because we're watching these videos and they put their works there, and we're helping them to improve themselves. But we're not doing anything for ourselves. We're just spending our time on this. A lot of distractions, social media, video games, Call of Duty. I don't
Yeah.
know, a lot of things.
Yeah,
So
like nobody embodied this idea better than Steve Jobs, who said, people think focus means saying yes to the things you've got to focus on. But that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. You have to pick carefully. And I think he said this in probably around 1997. uh, I don't remember exactly the I
The
was
rise
watching this
of
video.
company.
No, it was like I was watching this video the other day when he said that. Yeah, so this is very like he will bring example of couple things they started and then they killed it projects, and many people got upset. But he said then that's not those those are good ideas, but those ideas not the ones that bring the company to what it is right now.
Yeah,
And
and they got iPhone. They got
and then
from it because if I knew that they brought up this console, I don't remember actually the name, but they brought out this like gaming console, and it was a huge fall because it cost a lot of money and no one would play it, and they had like this weird kind of joypad with some kind of tracky touchpad. I don't remember actually, but they had it, and so it was one of those ideas that didn't work out. But when they focused on the most important thing, the most like coolest product that they have now, the iPhone,
yeah,
things worked out pretty well.
yeah, yeah. So saying no doesn't mean you'll never do anything interesting, uh, or innovative or spontaneous. It just mean that you say yes in a focus way. So you have to focus. Uh, Knock out those distractions away, and then do what will bring you closer to your goal. Holy shit, though! What was that?
No man, it's just some guys running toward his dreams outside. It's actually like late night in our country. All right, so we already told that no is very important, and you should over time you should upgrade your no. You need to change your strategy how to say no to people.
Okay.
Like you still need to say no to distractions, but you also need to learn to say no to opportunities that were previously good uses of time so you can make space for great uses of time. It's a good problem to have, but it can be a tough skill to master. In other words, you have to upgrade your no's over time. It doesn't actually mean that you'll never say yes. It just means you
Okay.
default to saying no and only say yes when it really makes sense. Like
The general, yeah, yeah,
if something, I don't know, if something uh really like it's useful for you, because there are something that so the people will ask you for some kind of things that you will learn some new skills from it, and or you will improve somehow from the things that you will do for other person. If it makes sense, you should say yes. By default, you know that like most of favors that people asking you, it's not a big deal, right? Like
yeah. It's not the big deal, but too quick to say yes. Like, uh, so basically, uh, if you can learn to say no to the bad distractions, and then eventually you'll earn the right to say no to good opportunities. Okay, means you will be more focused on your main goal. Uh, just like we talked, how to say no. Most of us are probably too quick to say yes and too slow to say no. Like,
by default,
uh,
yeah. By default,
yeah,
we're saying
like
yes to everything because you think that you will get a lot of benefits from saying yes. people will look at you from the different perspective. They will say, "Oh my
Yeah,
God, he's a
actually, you
cool guy."
don't get any benefit from saying yes. All you do
Yeah,
is you getting committed yourself to the waste of your time in a way, in some way that other people will dictate how you gonna waste your time. On
exactly.
perspective, you could say no and use that time for your own good.
All right. So, if there are any strategies like how to say no, how to think for yourself, which side is better, like what's more important to you? What do you think?
Um, I think uh, you should think of it like this. First of all, you should think. You should always remember your time is precious and you don't want to spend your time on something that not going to benefit you or others, because if you waste your time you won't be able to bring it back. It's not like, okay, I replay that. No, it's not going to work like that. And then you should think as if someone asks you to do something in the future, before say yes to that person, think of it. If you have to do it right now, would you do it right now? Will this benefit you in some way? Or would this benefit other people that make you feel like you don't wasting your time for no reason? And if your answer is no, you probably should answer no in the most polite way and without hurting anyone. Uh,
Don't
because
punch
just
people in their
yeah,
faces.
like
No.
hell no. Yeah, no, no, don't. Yeah, don't punch people. Don't knock out people.
No, knock
Uh,
out people.
so no, but
So,
then you should think of yourself first. You should think of your time first, and just if you have to say no, say it most polite way without hurting others' feelings. Not that you should worry about others people's feelings, but you should be polite, because when you dealing with your close one, like your family, friends, uh, you have to remember that one day you might need their help, and that's why if your answer is no, it should be polite no. So if you tomorrow go to your friend and you need to do really important thing that will benefit both of you, you'll get your yes from your friend. Uh, and also, very good thing if you can actually like explain why you're saying no. I usually don't explain. That's the bad. I don't know if it's a bad thing or no. But
but according to psychologists, it's the most perfect way that you can say no to anyone. Because when you're just saying no, uh, they will feel lost. Like they cannot tell you anything. Like, can you do this for
they'll
me?
be
And you
shocked.
just
Yeah,
no. Yeah, they will be shocked, and that's it. They will not ask for anything for a long time. Trust me.
yeah.
But
But
if
then
you,
you go to them, and then they will tell you the same thing. No, and
yeah,
you'll be shocked.
yeah, that's life actually. So
Yeah.
kindness comes from kindness, and if you're bad,
Yeah.
so but yeah, it's like, but for your close friends, if they are not so close, it's okay, just say no. No one will do anything for you. And if you know that you don't need that person at any point of your life, but if they are close person, just say no, explain why, because you have something to do, you don't have time, or etc.
Yeah,
So
it's better if you can explain it. So there's a quote that says, "There's nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all." So remember, write this down, remember this. And I think we covered everything for today. And seems like we gonna move to the next chapter.
Episode.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and that would be in the next episode. And we don't have
Thank you.
we don't
Thank
we
you.
don't have
Thank you.
a
Thank you.
name for our next chapter.
Yeah, we don't have still name it, etc. But stay online with us. Keep
Yeah,
listening to
stay
our
tuned.
podcast. Stay
Thank
tuned, and
you
we'll.
to the one listener and to all that comes. uh, and yeah, this is our journey. This is our journal. This is how we will keep ourselves responsible, so that you can keep us responsible. And see you next week. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.